He's known pretty well in the meetup community in Leeds. I like him, he's a good man. And he will tell you excellent things.
Thank you very much. I like him too. But let me say that these are things that I can't remember, so I think I need that. Yeah, he was at Beth's talk just now about imposter syndrome. Yeah, that was really good, really important stuff there. I think like one of the things that I was thinking about as I was preparing for mine is that often when people appear confident, the imposter syndrome is just as real for them. They're just not maybe admit. Like when I turned around to talk to say something to Gab, like as soon as words start coming out of my mouth, I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? You don't know what you're talking about. It goes with this guy. You've got no follow-up to it. Freaking out, and you know, when I'm stood here about to give a talk, I've done a few talks before, but I'm still like, shit, now I can do my talk. I'm at a testing conference, I'm not a tester, so I'm like, you know, we're all constantly questioning our value, and it's the imposter syndrome is a really good thing for us all to be talking about more. This is coffee, it's not stout. They're not fighting me. Right. So here's my brief history of personal failure. So this Thomas Edison, this quote is from a guy who's been pestered by a journalist who was having a go. He was trying to make a battery or something. Trying to make a battery, a new way of making more powerful batteries. It's just failing. And the journalist said, "Why didn't you? It's time to give up. 10,000 fails you've got there." Boy, I haven't just found 10,000 ways that won't work. And this idea of looking at failure less as a criticism and more as a journey is really, really important. You see it very, very commonly with really successful people. You think of Steven Spielberg, famously refused film school umpteen times. J.K. Rowling, not published, refused. And now look at those people. This is what the talk we're going to do today. I'm going to talk about my personal failures and ways of learning from failure. Then there will be a celebration, and it is good that there are sufficient people in the room for us to have a celebration about failure, and then some takeaway points at the end. So here's me, I'm Crispin. I do a few things. I am a consultant in user experience and agile strategy, stuff like that with user crunch. I also run the Coders Guild, which is a group of developers looking at promoting knowledge share and best practice and trying to encourage inclusivity and diversity in the industry. And as part of that, I work with the Web Dev Apprentice scheme, where we recruit people mainly from disadvantaged or underrepresented groups, and then train them in being a web dev through 18-month work. So, you know, how was this making a failure? One of the things about being a developer, and I guess I'm guessing a tester as well, is a lot of the things that we're doing is learning through failure. We try it doesn't work, especially, you know, I've realised that I'm in a room with people who are probably more software developers and engineers than maybe we are in the web dev world. We're a bit more gung-ho. Does it work? Does it work? Done, tried it. It works, ship it. You know, the idea is still there, and in testing, you know, what you're doing in testing is you're looking for points of failure, right? And when you find them, it is a good thing. My route into this world, in fact, you know, it was driven by failure. I was previous to my development career, I was a cycle courier, and I failed to negotiate some traffic. Ended up with a snapped collarbone and off work, no benefits, no sickness, no nothing, with a busted arm. So I I'd been tinkering around doing, it was back in the days of Flash, so I was doing stuff with flash and everything, like Dreamweaver building sites and stuff. But because I busted my mouse arm, I had to learn to code properly, diligently, one left hand, tap, 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 tap. So that's my root. Oprah is like, if you're looking for someone who knows about failure, or talks about failure a lot, she's the absolute queen, man, like, endless quotes. I mean, I was looking for, I'll get some failure quotes up for this talk. 50% of them are, one of the most successful people in the world. And failure is at the end of the road. It's a big red flag, so you wrong way, turn around. Because to fail like, they think like a queen. The queen's not afraid to fail. Failure is another stepping stone to greatness. And I think, this goes back to the first, like, the really successful people are often very, very comfortable with failure. And the big deal about that is that it doesn't matter that you failed, but it does matter how you deal with it. Now, caveat, obviously there are many situations where it doesn't matter. The operating theatre, for example, emergency room, manufacturing plants, then they're not going to be so hot on that. It's just fail, but everything's obviously but as a general thing, we are experiencing failure in our working lives in a constructive environment that is built to fail, and essentially that's why we do. There's lessons that we can learn from that and absorb into broader developments. So here's the thing: me and my boy built a rocket, like a bottle rocket thing. And it went so much higher than I thought it was going to do. And then it came down and smashed to absolute pieces. And he lost his shit. He was really disappointed. He saw the whole thing. If you even look at the video, he started looking at me. He didn't even see how high it went. I'm the one spitting my pants. But the thing is, I'm talking about perspective. You look at this thing, I was just like, this is amazing, this is it's a triumph. And he's just like, the rocket's completely busted, it all fell to bits, the fins came off, the nose came smashed, it was rubbish. But then, so after that, we built another rocket, and, that was in before the time, but he's like, he's getting some important life lessons. We tried a thing, it didn't work, we broke it, we fixed it. He's learning about this. Acceptance of failure, or perspective from failure. It's also learning in version 2 of the rocket that if you can't fix something with gaffer tape, you ain't used enough. Right, so 2018. This is a big year for me. 2018. I switched. I had my daughter was born end of 2017 and 2018. I had a little bit of time off for paternity, and then I was going back to work. I put all my client work through into the new year. None of them were ringing up, so I started doing a bit more of this stuff with the apprenticeship scheme. And then after a while, I was just sort of like, if I just take a whole year off and just go for this, I could make this thing scalable. It could, it could really work. I could do it for a job, which would be amazing. So I had a chat with my extremely supportive wife about, yet again, abandoning a potentially lucrative career for something that earns significantly less money, and I set myself a bunch of targets for like, okay, so if I was going to do this is what we need to do in order for me to be financially reliant on doing this for a job. This is how many apprentices we would need. This is the level of scale. I set myself some targets. Long story short, I missed it, and not just by a little bit, by a lot. So we get to the end of the year. I've taken a whole year off. Obviously, clients weren't just like, yeah, take a year off. They've gone elsewhere. So I'm a little bit priced into the hand, but I could look at that as a failure. But I could also look at all of the things that I learned and how I evolved during that year. All of the new stuff that I knew. I loads of I knew a lot more about understanding how people learn for a start. From my previous involvement with it, doing bits of training, but understanding much more about the needs of individual people, of companies, and I fixed it and doing this big complex problem. I understood loads of the stuff that was kind of important to me from a UX point of view about for our inclusivity and diversity things, how different sorts of people are likely to react to job adverts. I learned about Ofsted and the ESFA and all the different audits and all the things that you have to do, and I learned more about people and I learned more about me, and so even though arguably, if I set myself these targets, I missed those targets massively, but I did know a lot more about what I was going to do, about what I was doing and what I ought to be doing. And these 5 points is I think what a lot of this understanding idea comes down to. Think about experience. So as I just walk over to my notes, when you fail, you walk away with first-hand experience of the thing that you've just failed at, that you can't get any other way. And the experience is completely invaluable, and it's more valuable because you failed, which also which ties into the knowledge one second. When you fail at something, your perception of it is altered because of the pain of that failure, and it makes it and it forces us to reflect. As animals, we experience pain. We don't want to have that again, and we reflect more about what's happened so that we don't have that pain in the future. Knowledge is really similar to experience, but you're gaining important first-hand knowledge about stuff. And the knowledge, the knowledge that you get is for keeps. And again, like with the experience, the pain makes that more. It makes it you can recall it faster, easier, and with greater clarity because of the pain that you've gone through in order to get that knowledge. Resilience. This is an important one. So failure helps us build resilience. We need to be resilient about things. So the more that we are exposed to failure, the more we are able to cope with it in the future. And we become more resilient. And also, if you think that you're going to succeed the first time at something, when you do fail, when you do fail, that's more painful than if you were setting yourself up, this is going to take me 3 tries, by try 3 I'll get there. But setting your own expectations comes from your understanding of failure. And by setting your own expectations, you're setting yourself up for future success, because you know that something, that success actually means that you are going to put in a lot of work and a lot of effort in order to get there. Growth. So when we fail, we grow as human beings. Our whole entire lives are all built towards growth. As individuals, as groups, on social levels, everything is all about the growth of understanding and getting deeper meanings about our lives. And failing helps us reflect, take meaning from stuff, and be able to cope with future situations. Going back to resilience again. And the last one, I think the biggest one for me is value. So this is like the biggest lesson from failures. So value is like at the heart of success. It's also like a pillar of failure. So if you are delivering value, there's your success. If you didn't deliver value, then here comes the failure. But in reflecting on a particular failure, then you can think about the value. Could we have delivered more value in this situation? What could I have done that was more valuable? What value came out of it regardless of the failure? And and understanding all these things increases your chance of success in the future. And there's an interesting, like statistically, you are much more likely to succeed at something that you have already failed at. Your chances of success first time round are quite minimal. So the next thing I want to talk about is bread. So this is a few years ago. I set myself a hobby of making sourdough bread. Right, so you get a pot, throw some yeast in it, it comes from the air, and you can make your own bread. And it's kind of it's like a silly hobby. Like if you were like financially, it's a stupid thing to do. Like it takes a long time to be able to do it. You're not saving loads of money really by making your own bread until you can make it really well. So you can buy really nice bread at Tesco's or at Leeds Bread Co or whatever. But as a learning experience, I set myself the task of learning, not just follow the instructions and make bread, like do a tutorial and have your thing. That's not what I wanted. What I wanted was like I guess an understanding about bread as a whole. And with sourdough bread, there's a lot more to it. You've got you have to care for the starter. You have to create a starter first. You need to collect some yeast from the air and feed it. And feed it different things, different types of flour you can feed the starter that will make it behave in different ways and ferment quicker or slower. And temperature is a factor, and how often you feed the starter is a factor. And on top of all this, there's when you actually get to make the bread, there's the hortalice, there's the folding, there's the lamination, there's the proving, there's the bulk, there's all of these different crazy variables that if you were to just follow a system of doing it exactly, you probably could. But the learning isn't there from that. I needed to fail hundreds of times to get where I wanted to be. And the place that I wanted to be was somewhere where I could understand the feel of things. So if I changed things, I could change them on the fly. If I wanted to bake bread, if I was available one morning and then one afternoon, I could move things around, I could change the ingredients, I could swap out flours, and that's where I wanted to be at. And that took loads of failures. Making horrible bread, making really dense bread, making stuff that just collapsed, burning stuff, If I'd have listened to people, I guess, if I'd have bought some books instead of just trying to do it myself, I could have saved myself a lot of time. But it was, like I say, it was the learning from the failures that was important. And once I started on the journey, I wanted to do it without measuring as well. Just to make it even more tough. We do it all by feel, right? This is we've got so I set myself the thing, and like now I'm pretty happy with it, right? I can. It's been a long journey. I could make bread now if I wanted to. And also, like it's a never-ending thing. Every time a load comes out, I'm still looking at it. So this is like there's a recent one. So if I had done that 2 years ago, I'd be super chuffed. But now I look at that and I go, oh look, you've got that crack down there. That's a fail. This one's that crack's a fail. So I needed to have scored that more. That score needs to be deeper so that I get, the fact that each thing comes out and is criticised for a point of fail is not a bad thing, because the whole learning experience is about failing and understanding what the benefits of what those failures are. So this now back to Oprah. So my favourite Oprah quote about failing is: it doesn't matter that you failed if you enjoyed the journey. And that, I think that resonates really hard with the bread making things. The whole thing, even when I was making shitty bread, I'm still enjoying the learning process. I'm still, every time there is a success, I'm like completely reveling in that. And I'm trying to remember all the things, but all the things that I get from the failing are more important, they're more useful than the successes. And translating this as well to learning about learning, which is an opinion, especially working with the apprenticeship. Now, one of the things that came out of the bread making and out of the 2018 fails was an understanding, like I said, about learning from failure. And we changed, across 2018 and more recently, changed lots of the stuff that they were doing in their group sessions to be not set up for them to fail and stuff, but giving them safe environments to be able to fail in, so that they get the experience, they get the knowledge, they get the growth, and understand the value. I think that, there's one. I kind of belted through that. I thought that would take longer. Now, this is the slides in the wrong order. That's right. That was right. So the celebration. So now we're going to the celebration part. So this is an exercise that we used to do. We used to run this little one-day bar camp conference down in London. That was half the room was people from charities and non-profits, and the other half was tech people. So the idea is they would get advice and stuff about what they were doing from developers and other people that they don't usually that generally remove them, or they're quite expensive to get advice from. And as devs and that, we get a better understanding about charities and non-profits and how they work. So we used to run this thing, which is like this celebration framework. This is what we're going to try now with you lovely people. So the idea is that you stand up and say, "Hello, my name is Crispin, and I have failed," and everyone goes nuts. Right? We're going to choose one. Now, it does only work if you do go nuts. If it's like a product, it's not so good. So, hello, my name is Crispin and I failed. How did you fail? You tell us the story of the thing that you failed at. And then everyone goes nuts again. And then tell us what you learned, or how you grew, or what value you got. And have a quick look around then, if anyone sees okay. So I'll tell you what, are you happy to do this?
Yeah.
It's going to be a short session if you don't. Okay, grand. So I'll start. Alright, I'll start. I've got one. Hello, my name is Crispin and I have failed. So how did you fail? Well, back in my earlier in my career, I was working for Ofcom, and we were very big at intranet, and I was called to go to a meeting to go and do a little presentation about the plans for the intranet. So I was quite young, hadn't really done many presentations before or anything. But it's only going to be like a meeting room, 5 or so people in it. I know what I'm doing. We're creating like a video showing the sorts of things that we were going to try and do, and then I went to the place where everything was, and it was like 200 people. I was on stage, shat myself basically. Shat myself, put the little video on, can remember I was talking about videos just going, not making sense to everyone. Everyone's just looking at me like, who's this guy? Absolutely lost it, like, honestly. And it was a horrible experience. I thought that I'd just be there in tears, standing in a puddle of my own piss, and my mum would have to pick me up. Like, it was the worst. So, what did I learn? I learned to find out about the meeting that you're going to, and find out where you're supposed to be and how many people it's going to be. I learned to prepare for presentations. I learned I needed some training in public speaking if that's what I was going to do as part of my job. And I never did a video as part of a presentation and try and talk over it. Right, who's next?
Hello, my name is Mike and I have failed.
How did you fail?
I failed because when I used to work in Gibraltar, I had a sprint planning meeting the next morning and I turned up to it still drunk from the night before. So what I learned from that is not to drink the night before the sprint planning meeting.
Perfect. And have you ever drunk before?
No, I haven't.
Alright, thanks a lot. Next one. At the back.
Hello, my name is Luke and I failed. So I got fired for my first dev job. So I'm self-taught. I have always had the mentality whilst I was learning that I had to do everything myself. And industry is very different to doing it yourself and doing it as a hobby. So I would get given projects and think I have to do all this all myself, I can't ask for help. Which ultimately ends up with you being late, the quality not being fantastic, and getting fired.
So, what did you learn?
Managing expectations is very important, as well as asking for help. No one's an island. No matter what you do, ask for help and don't set the expectation of, yeah, this will be done in a day when it's actually like a 3-week project.
Awesome, thanks very much. Next up. Yes, in the middle, thanks.
So my name's Colin and I have failed.
Tell us about the fail, Colin.
So basically I was working for a startup that was doing like an electronic observation platform for the NHS. And we had reports. I was a junior front-end developer and I needed some help from one of the back-end guys who, instead of rendering a HTML page which was a report, he just put "this is working" and we shipped that, and I think it was the backup process for about 1,500 patients that suddenly all their reports said "this is works." Excellent. And obviously we had issues with the client and we almost lost them.
Great. Well done, guys. So, tell us what you learned.
Testing. We wrote a test. It made sure that the report did what it was supposed to do. I learned automation. I then went on to lead the dev team. I now do SDET stuff. So yeah, basically my route into testing.
Awesome success story. Thanks very much. Yes, mate.
My name's Luke and I failed. So in my first job as an apprentice, I accidentally nuked a Git repository by pushing. I lost about 2-3 days worth of work, luckily because obviously it's distributed, someone did have a copy of it, managed to push it back up again, but I did end up having to hoover around the office for the next 2-3 weeks. So.
Thanks a lot. And what did you learn?
I've learned to be a lot safer with Git. It forced me to learn Git like the back of my hand to the point where I've done teaching Git to people in various companies.
Excellent, thank you very much. Got another one?
I am James and I failed.
Tell us how you felt, James.
So last year I got given the job offer for a different job with a really good promotion, and I decided to accept counter offer instead. It was all good, but I was just sort of the whole process made me really kind of stressy and overworked, and I got more and more stressy. And the end result was in 2 weeks I lost 2 wallets. So we bring up the police and I was like, hey, I lost the wallet, I'm going to take that. I don't know if I get anything else. Yeah, I lost another wallet. I also want to report as well.
That's James.
Yeah. That was within one phone call. I was like, this is going to sound ridiculous, but I've actually lost 2 wallets. And I report them both at the same time. And they're very nice about it, and one of them was found, got to the police station, and got completely lost on the way. And it was just like, I can't believe how stressed I got. And it was just like, completely spiraling out of control. Until I hit that low, I was like, I just need to relax and get myself out of here.
And what did you learn?
I learned the warning signs so I can see when I get like that again, and not kind of chill before I get to that point.
Brilliant. Great.
Hi, my name is Gwen and I have failed. So, when I worked in IT support, the CEO wanted a big television screen in his office, and he wanted 4 televisions, and I haven't owned a television since I was 20, and I know absolutely nothing about televisions and don't understand how remotes work or anything, because I don't give a shit. But I was told to design his office, so I had to design his office, and I bought the televisions and I put them up on the wall, and it looked amazing. I was working with an electrician because I had to design the whole thing. And then we go to turn them on, and with the remote control, it changes the channel on each of the televisions, and he wanted each of them individual, and so it was never going to work. And because I don't have any context of televisions or anything like that, it never, so it was an absolute disaster, and then they had to spend like $5,000 getting a specialist remote for it. Yeah.
And what did you learn?
That I can't, if you don't know about something, ask someone who actually knows, or be like, I don't know about this, maybe I should find someone who does, instead of being like, brilliant, I'll make you a television wall.
Who's next? At the back.
Hi, my name's Kim and I failed. So many moons ago I applied for a PhD and I rocked up to my interview all confident that he was going to smash it, and sat there talking about a completely different technique, what the questions they asked me for. They asked me about NMR, I started talking about circular diagrammism for ages and ages and ages. Needless to say, I did not get that job. So yeah, that was my failure.
And what did you learn?
I learned to be very good with preparing for stuff, and also when you're in interviews and things like that, just to take a deep breath, and if you can't answer something, just say, can I have a minute, and compose yourself, and don't just go rushing off into something and just rattle your mouth off without actually taking stock of what you're actually trying to say. So, and I've since then, I've never failed an interview. So.
Who's next? Yes.
My name is Rosie and I have failed.
How'd you fail, Rosie?
Once upon a time I applied for a dev job and had a sort of interview, and it got to the point where they said you have to do some homework to prove that you can dev. You have to do dev homework. And it was quite a long drawn out project. It took me approximately 3 days to complete. They wanted a sort of client-server messaging system written. It was quite deep. And on top of that, there was another section of like 7 questions. And they also wanted to know how quickly it would be done. So I felt really under pressure to kind of deliver this task really quickly. So I put my entire life on hold to get through this challenge and create this project and answer these questions. And then the second that I got this thing kind of working, I thought I better submit this straight away. And I submitted it. And then I didn't hear anything for 2 weeks. And then I was sort of wondering, oh, what's going on here? And then I got this kind of, we're very, very sorry, but no email. Yeah, I was kind of left feeling like I shouldn't have submitted it so quickly, and I was kind of doubting myself and doubting my skills, and it left me feeling pretty horrible actually at the time.
And so what did you learn? How did you grow?
So I took this experience and I went on Slack and I found some developers which had way more experience than me, and I asked them if they would take a look at the thing that I had built. And oh my word, I learned so much stuff. Like, I had gone into this, like, it was kind of like a network programming task. I hadn't really done any network programming before, so even kind of understanding some of the basic concepts was just all alien. And now, I had this amazing community of people on Slack that genuinely wanted to help. And some of them, because I got feedback from multiple people, some of them even actually tried to do the task themselves before they came and looked at my work. And one of the sort of best things that came out of that is I was able to find a mentor too. So yeah, I mean, if I hadn't stuffed up that assignment, then I would have been like kind of ignorant of, I would have thought that I was kind of okay, but not. And by sort of really stuffing it up, big style, I'm going to be much happier, much better place now.
Yeah, loads of learning, loads of
Yeah,
progress,
yeah.
loads of growth. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Duncan, I have failed. So one of my earlier testing careers, I was testing an advert publisher to give us the ability to publish thousands of adverts automatically. So I was testing this, and my boss sat next to me had got a phone call saying 40,000 adverts in production with the name of Monkey Tester, and I was like, what? So somehow I managed to publish 40,000 test adverts to the live site. So it's kind of a bit of a flurry of activity trying to get things sorted, and then dragged off into a meeting room with the lead and the manager, just like, okay, talk us through what you did, how did this happen? Right? So the test lead immediately how on earth can a test advert system get through to production? Right, this isn't your fault. I mean, I was just sitting there like, oh no. Don't sack me. Anyway, so yeah, we sorted it all out. Basically, it was a configuration issue. The way that the test system had been configured meant there was a direct route to production system. What I learned from that is firstly what great leadership looks like. So I wasn't thrown under the bus. I had a ballsy manager who went, no, come on, this is we need to deal with this and sort it out. There was no blame for anyone else, so I got a great view of what great leadership looks like. I also learned to understand what the hell I was testing beneath the hood and what questions to ask before I started testing. So it's just like, right, okay, so this is the system, show me how it's configured, demonstrate to me that I'm not going to publish adverts to production system again. So I ended up having different conversations with different part of the organisation, which made me a richer tester.
Brilliant. Next up. Yes.
So hi, I'm Shan and I've failed. So in a past life I was a chef, and for my very first night running the kind of kitchen by myself, I mean the kitchen was tiny, but the pub was quite big, and so my very first set of tickets came through, and there were sort of 2 orders. I wait for more orders, and then another one of 4 came through. I ended up with 12 people on my very first ticket by myself, and I shat the bed. I started off these first 2 things, and then I was instantly like, shit, what do I do next? Where do I go? Like, so much stuff going through my head, like I need to do everything at the same time. And basically I just phoned the owner downstairs and I was like, dude, help. What do I do? Yeah, and he like came up and kind of gave me a hand because he had years of experience with this kind of thing, but I was just watching him in awe, like, wow, yeah. So I just kind of dropped the ball a little bit, I guess. And from that I kind of learned the powers of organisation and not shitting the bed.
Yeah, exactly. Benefits of not panicking.
Yeah, exactly that. Yeah.
You know, you can let yourself have a little panic, right? And then just go, right, I'm just going to have a little panic for 5 minutes. And then we're going to come back to the room and sort it out. Yeah, perfect. Who's next? Yes.
So, my name is Jay and I have failed. So I'm a penetration tester, and when I took my first interview for a company to do this kind of stuff, the interview was going really well. They're asking me lots of technical questions. I've answered most, I think, pretty solidly. And I remember hearing, like, in interview preparation, they say, build a report for your first interview. So I thought, okay, I'm going to try and make some jokes here. And the guy asked me a question, he said, so how did you learn about security? What kind of things have you been doing? Of course, the actual answer is I've got my own lab and blah, blah. And what I said was, I don't really want to incriminate myself. Now, that was definitely 100% a joke to try and get the guy to chuckle a bit. And he didn't chuckle. And actually, he had to cut the interview off early and says, I'm sorry. Obviously, we can't hire people that have done a criminal thing. So, yeah, that's my story about that.
And what did you learn?
So I learned to not joke about criminal stuff, especially in security testing. Just be aware that how you present yourself is really important, and it is a professional thing. It's not just playing around.
Cheers,
Hi, my name's Brett and I failed. I deleted sourdough. Some would say it was not a bad thing, but I was responsible for the publishing of the Royal Mail postcode directories, which ran on a kind of rota. We had an old-fashioned DOS database with all the output of and marked up tags. Someone corrupted the database halfway through and it skipped some lines, missed out Solihull for the Midlands directory. Cost the publisher about 150,000 grand to republish a supplement. So that was our thing. Learnings from it were create a checksum program that checks your output, makes sure everything's there. But luckily the management and things were understanding, as it could have happened to anyone.
Great, brilliant. Who's next? Yes! Thank you. Please do.
Right, anybody that does know me, I have a long story, it's always a long story, but I'm trying to keep it short. So, quite a long time ago in Cambridge, I worked for a software company, and we were well known for late delivery of software and renewals. You know when you collect stuff, we prided ourselves on fabulous software. And the company wanted to grow, wanted to do this, wanted to do that, so they set us up a system, a scheme. So every year we were going to be paid a bonus for shipping on time. Okay. So we're in the middle of a project. Developers back to waterfall days. Developers going slow, blah blah blah, late. I've got 3 weeks worth of testing that's needed to do all the combinations of different setups and blah 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 blah. My boss went, that makes late. You've got 3 days, you've got to finish it by the end of the week, because we got ship on time, because we get the ship bonus. And I'm kind of like, I don't care about the ship bonus. We should do this software all over the world. I can't do this. We need 3 weeks. And we round and round and round and round and round. And in the end, he said, trust me. So we did 3 out of the 20 tests that we wanted to do. We got it done. We went to CDs. I'm really old. It went out. And it broke on all the things that we hadn't tested. And I was kind of like, told you. The thing was, it didn't break on those things until after we got paid. Which was really so I failed for 2 reasons. One is I didn't manage to stand up for, we've got to do this right, pardon me, to me. And 2 was it cost the company loads of money because A, they paid us the bonus, and B, they had to really do all the work and what have you. So it was just like, oh my god. I thought I was going to get fired because you just can't like go, oh, this is horrendous. But I didn't. And we changed the bonus scheme the next year. So it came out okay both ways. And the customers that had got the bad software, we fixed it fairly quickly and so on and so on. So I think my learnings from it were several. One is understand what the quality criteria really is. Because that company at that time, the quality criteria was schedule, timeliness. And that's all they actually cared about at that moment. So, I caved correctly. The other thing I learned was to trust my boss. Because he had it, and he said the only way that we were going to learn that we wanted to go back to the old way of doing things and do it right and be a bit late if we needed to be, was to fail all the time, but actually to do that failure. So the business learned about failing, as well as myself learning about failing. So that was it.
Brilliant. Any more for any more? Got one time for one more? No one? Yes, of course, in the front. Thank you.
Hey, I'm Surah and I have failed. I'm electronic engineering, got my first job on QA. I was a bit behind, actually not a bit, much behind in technology. And on interview, for some reason, my boss understood I learned by challenge. So he started to hold me and I started to cry and lose my confidence. With my history of getting 2 degrees, but I lose everything. So I went to the bottom and I feel like I can't get it, it's not for me. And then for some reason I challenge myself that I have either do it or just resign from this one. So get it by remember all the good things I have done in the past. And how I managed to get around the difficult stuff. And when I get it, for some reason, he did change and he started to help me. And then I success, which I found really happy about.
Good. So, in a sense, what's the key learning from that?
The key learning is on the difficult times of lose or doubts in your skill and ability to manage to go over the things that you don't learn. I keep trying to do it.
Brilliant. Thank you. Is it going up again?
Yes. It was me, but I'll go, yeah. So, essentially, do I have to say it? I've already done that.
Otherwise we can't clap you.
Yeah, no, cool. So essentially what happened was after the whole reporting thing and stuff like that, they fired the CTO because he wasn't working out, and they made the dev team lead that particular team I was in. And I think it was about 2 years down the line when I was brought into a meeting where they said, hey, we're not making any money, we've got about 2 months worth of resources left to go and we need to close shop. So I then took it upon myself to spend the next 2 months basically doing 12 to 14 hour days, trying to get everything going. Got to the end of it, obviously it didn't work out, company folded, and then we started doing like a retrospective at the end of it to say like what we fucked up. And it turned out the sales team didn't do any of the actual sales. They didn't actually talk to anybody, so they didn't sell it and didn't make any money. So the thing I learned from that is to not get too personally involved in shit and to basically understand the context of which I'm working in. If they're not going to bother doing any of the sales, what's the point in me kind of trying to make a thing?
Yeah. And self-care as well, right?
Yeah, I don't need that.
It's not all on your shoulders. Brilliant. Thanks so much for being good sports about that. I was touch and go whether that's actually going to work, right? Right. Done that bit. All the slides backwards in this bit. Okay. So, three closing points for what we're talking about. Don't confuse failure with worth or ability. They're not the same thing, but we often use them interchangeably. If you failed at something, that's not because you're not worthy of doing the thing, or you're not able to do the thing. It's just so happened that this time it hasn't worked. And it's if at first you don't succeed, try. Yeah. That's an old thing, but it's right there. It's with Thomas Edison and his battery. He made the battery in the end. 10,000 in first time or whatever. And J.K. Rowling, she's published, and Steven Spielberg's made loads of films. Keep going, keep trying. You've only got I can't remember, there's like an American sports life coach guy, his thing is like you only need to fail, doesn't matter, you only need to succeed one time you do it. And last point is failure is always a learning opportunity. Even the really bad, even the ones where I was talking about in the operating theatre or whatever, don't cut that off. Always a learning opportunity. Always look for the learning in what you're doing. And for my own as well, like the value. Value is the easiest one of those 5 points that I can see. If I can see there's also always loads of learning about what I know in what I'm doing, and what I could have done more or less. And if you are delivering value, you're not